Greetings and salutations and welcome once again to the Capeless Crusaders live at the time from Empire's Comics Vault. My name is, of course, David Barry at Dr. Barry on varying social media platforms. I am joined by the newest crewist to the... I can't think of something that rhymes with an ooh street. Hoodist. Oh, that would have worked.
The hoodist, goodest, and the moodest.
We are joined by our newly formed sister podcast, Amy's Double Dipping. So we'll start with her. First off, to my right.
All I could think of was chocolate bananas when you said that. This is Amy. You can find me at iJaneURobot on varying social media. And I'm going to pass it to my sisters from another mister, starting all the way at the end, because she is super worthy by Mew Mew.
What's up, Mew Mew? Hey guys, I am Minnie Salcedo. I am Earth 76 Estevez, as you guys might know.
She's the Batman.
I am the Batman, but I am also at Dame Eggsauce on the Instaswams, and I am one of the newly formed sisters of the Dame Patrol. And to my right,
I am Stephanie Gross. I am also part of the Dame Patrol, and you can find me at Dame of the Galaxy, now all one word and easy to find on Instagram.
No underscores.
No underscores.
Yes,
that was underscoring.
We don't undercut your underscores.
We are your number one, allegedly, supposedly, rumor has it, maybe absentee voting podcast for anything comic book related. You can find everything associated with the Capeless Crusaders at thecaplesscrusaders.com. That is our home on the Z-Web. That is our website. If we were a spider, that would be a dad joke, but we're not.
Sure.
Soon, joining thecaplesscrusaders.com will be the Dame Patrol once their episode drops, which we will talk about on this week's episode. Of course, we are going to go around the horn. We're going to talk about what comic books we've been reading this week. We're going to go over some news, a little bit of news here and there, kind of a dry week in a lot of ways. And then our main topic, we will be meeting the Dames. We'll be introducing you to them individually and as a unit, talking about their new show, when it's going to be coming out, where you can see it, so on and so forth. So, when we are in a comic book store with comics surrounding us and hot sauce, and it is almost the holiday season.
And we forget to do our sponsors.
We like to talk about our sponsors.
Yep.
First,
She got it.
Beard Bomb Brush.
Yay!
Beard Bomb Brush. I've got mine over there. I recently picked up a new tree beard, haroom. So, you're wondering, what's a beard balm brush?
Exactly.
It sounds interesting. Let me tell you, friend, you're going to take a Koopa shell. You are going to cast it in plaster. You are then going to take that I'm making up this part. You are then going to take beeswax. You're going to take beard oil. You're going to take beard balm. You're going to mix it all together into that Koopa shape, and you are going to get a brush-like item that you can just swish through the beard, make it look lovely, soft, conditioned, and beautiful. And if you go to Beard Balm Brush and use the code Capeless, you can get 15% off your purchase. Do you have someone in your life with facial hair that needs a little bit of tending? It is almost the holiday season. Go to Beard Balm Brush, use the code Capeless, get 15% off your purchase.
And that lovely individual that is using that lovely beard balm, you can actually use it for yourself as well and make all of your knitted and yarn items extra soft. We've just found out because, science is great. And chemicals will make that delightfulness all nice and soft in your yarns.
Soft if you're going to have a yarn beard.
Take that acrylic yarn and turn it into that soft yarn for your yarn beard.
Yeah.
Speaking of sultry voices, we are also sponsored by Empire's Comics Vault, our home away from home, local comic book, hot sauce, pug mecca. They're located at
1120 Fulton Avenue,
Sweet K. That's the sultry that I was looking for. And they have all kinds of stuff coming up for the holidays.
Oh, we do. We've got... Min, what do we got?
We have got something great if you have all kinds of friends that are looking into getting to comic books, but you're not sure what to get them. We have the GNGB, the graphic novel gift bag. So you can get a $60 to $90 value for only $40. You can get somebody who's into Batman, 3 different trades, all in one delightful pug tote bag.
It's beautiful.
Also, should we talk about that the Superman in some of those are hardbacks that are worth easily $40 to $50 a shot? They're like monsters.
It's a wonderful opportunity to get some gifts. Also, real fast, hey chat.
Hey chat, and Ruru, I believe you could
use it on your one chest hair.
On that,
You just
whole one.
Just be careful to not
pull it out.
You don't want
Go
to.
with the grain.
Yeah,
Go
with the grain. If you're watching Big Mouth, you don't want to lose that one into the toy. Anyway.
Oh, Stephanie, what else is happening with the holidays and the sales?
Happy holidays.
Well, we also have a toy drive coming up.
Hey.
That is very
Yes.
important. It is going to benefit. What does it benefit, Amy?
Ooh. It's children receiving homes.
It does. Exactly. The
Children will be getting the
children,
Children.
possibly orphans.
Not
like Batman.
Not children at heart.
yes.
Children.
Yes, it benefits the children's receiving home, so you can brighten up the holidays for some kids that really need it.
That is going to be running from the 5th through the 17th here at Empire's Comics.
And if you donate a new unwrapped toy, you will get a certain specific percentage off. I just can't recall which. Apologies. It's probably 10 to 15%.
You can check Ben's and Empire's Instagram,
You can check the
Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. It's probably
event
on there.
for it.
You can probably
down.
ask a pug. I'm sure the pug will tell you too.
Rolly, my taskmaster, knows all things. I bow to her will. Hail, Rolly.
Hail Rolly.
Yes, so that is everything going on down here at Empire's coming up for the holiday. Wait.
We have one
There's more.
There's more.
For just free $3.99, you can know all about the Black Friday sale
That's the one.
that we are having. It is fantastic. It rivals, if not, it's a little bit better than the free comic book day sale.
This is getting crazy, like straight up boss. We were talking about if you're a saver or a member with us, there's an extra power up bonus on top of like the 40% off statues, toys, and something else. Graphic novels got a bank up, and all of the back issues go on sale. And the hot sauce is 25% off. So if you need a little dabbing in your life,
Hot dame.
Yeah.
yes, hot dame, get you some.
If you are looking to buy a gift for someone, a fantastic opportunity. If you are looking to buy gifts for yourself, totally fine. If you're looking to clear out some stuff out of your box, say you're like me and you've been sitting for a couple months and you're just looking and Ben's calling you and Ben's like, hey, I like you.
I don't want to kill you.
I don't want to kill you, but I'm gonna start pouring hot sauce in your eyeballs. You can come down and you can wipe out some of your collections, get some of your
You can buy
trades,
gift certificates.
gift certificates. That's a thing. You can
Yeah,
get some
we do have them.
statues.
All kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Lots of stuffs.
do you want to respond to Beard Bone Brush? They want to watch the show.
They want.
Ooh. They're looking for the mobile Twitch link. So that's what's going on down at Empires. Now that we've talked about our sponsors, when we're in a comic book store, when we're surrounded by comic books, when David doesn't forget to read the breakdown of the episodes that he writes, we like to go round the horn. Almost hit the wrong button
don't
because I switched news and round the horn. That was dumb. Anyway, when we go around the horn, we go around the table in a circular fashion, except for the fact we no longer have a circular table. It's been eons. Aeons, even, if you're into that. We talk about what comic books we have been reading this week, why we like them, why we think you should read them, or why we don't think you should read them if we read one we didn't really like, which never really is a thing. Amy,
Yo.
I gave you a task.
And I completed the task.
You're okay. I was going to say, we're going to skip over you because you already, but Amy, what have you been reading this week?
So I got the opportunity to, I talked about it last week when we were talking about our tribute to our Papa Stan. About Heroes in Crisis number 1. I finished Heroes in Crisis number 2 literally while you were walking through the door. And
Proud of you. I'm glad I wasn't here while we were doing the intro.
No, it was fantastic. I'm going to try not to spoil it because two of us has read it and somebody else is working on reading it.
I was working on it. Sick.
Yeah, so she read the number 1.
Oh, so
But
good.
so it's so good. We're still dealing with the event at the sanctuary and the fallout from it. We're still getting our beautiful full pages of baby confessions from our heroes.
Is it bad that every time you say sanctuary, I just picture Quasimodo?
Sanctuary.
As long as I'm not the only one.
No, you're
As
not.
long as I get Michael Tate and not in Love Potion number 9, I get him in Hercules because he can go the distance. Hey, that's the voice actor.
Oh.
I'm very, very,
Cheers.
very on top of this. Sup, peeps. So I really liked it, and then the other thing I actually started reading was The Prince and the Dressmaker. This is by Jen Wang. I know you guys can't see it.
The light's just killing
There
it.
it is. I just started reading it and I love it. It's fantastic. We're dealing with this one is if you watch anime or manga, there was a series that's come out called Princess Jellyfish, where there's this very rich son of, he's not even a politician, he was a corporation.
Yep.
And He loved putting on women's dresses. Uh-oh, we got an escape. I'm leading the team.
Yes,
So,
James.
hot dame, it's going off the trails.
Yeah.
And the rails. This ain't a crazy train. So, so we ended up having just basically he dresses in dresses. It's to connect with his mom. I don't know what it is about the prince in this one, but basically it's some of the same thing, but he's keeping his secret from everybody. So it is so far it's fantastic. I'm only like 12 pages in. And that was it during the run through for the show. Anyway, I'm all done with my sharery.
Perfect timing.
You look at you in that run.
Look at you.
I'm an idiot. Put the computer down there so I can't. Anyway,
It's okay. It made it so we can see everybody better.
yes. Wunderbar. Hey, I read comics. I am still. I'm surprised that I'm actually kind of stuck. I'm still reading Invisibles, Volume 1, Grant Morrison.
Because it's Grant Morrison.
It's really good, but it's
So meaty.
that is accurate. I feel like going back and like redoing like Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, and I was redoing Sandman, and I feel like going back to just that kind of era, that style of writing and artwork, it's actually kind of. I'm almost a little more used to how less stuff is now. So I'm kind of, I had to back off on it. It was also just making me just upset at the universe and conspiracy theories. And anyway, so I went went the complete opposite direction. And I picked up Lumberjane's The Infernal Compass, which was a original graphic novel, OGN, that's the term, written by Lila Sturgis.
job.
Yes. It's awesome. I love it. I love that it was very, the colors were very simple. It was mainly black and white with blue kind of hues to it, but then they had this green all over the place when it came to specifically the Infernal Compass, because it was demonic and evil and did weird things. Really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I love everything about Lumberjanes. But yeah, so it was pretty solid. So I read Lumberjanes. I was reading Invisibles, and I'm going to try to wrap those up. Stephanie.
All right, so this is currently the busiest time of year at my job, and so I haven't gotten as far as I'd like to, but I started reading a recent Bumblebee trade they put out, which has been really delightful because it's G1, but also kind of just, I don't know, just kind of like more fluid and motion, so I kind of like that one, but I also saw that they have the Stephanie Brown Volume 1 Batgirl just was re-released.
Yes.
So
Like today.
that just kind of gave me flashbacks to when I was in college and read that for the first time. And I highly recommend picking that up at your local comic book store or putting in an order for it, because
You're like that for boating.
this is the first time they've reprinted it in a long time. So get your hands on that. And Minnie, what would you?
Oh man, I'm definitely reading Heroes in Crisis because that is just giving me a sucker punch to the feels, for sure, in my Honey Nut Felios. And I love it. I dig it. I don't trust Batman. I never trust Batman.
But
even
you're the
though
Batman.
I'm Batman, but that's because I am the Batman.
Touche.
You know.
You know when not to trust.
You know when not to trust, for sure. That's why you have all those suitcases full of things, you know, in case someone gets out of line.
All that beltery.
All that beltery. But something else that I'm reading, and I was hesitant to get into it, but I am actually reading The Wolverine by our lovely dame herself that was here, Mariko.
Ooh.
The X-23.
Yeah, X-23.
that-
Yeah, the new Wolverine, or X-23. I was hesitant on reading it because I don't like that they rebranded her as X-23, because that's a name that she bucked against because of some really, really messed up stuff in her origin. We might go into that in our future Dame Patrol episode. Who knows? But it's been fantastic. It's really a cool reawakening of Lara being kind of like a mentor herself to the Honey Badger. And I've been digging it so far. And I see you, Mariko. As much as I dislike her being called X-23, I've noticed that she doesn't have many people call her that, nor does she actually mention it either. So...
Editorial decision.
Not
creative decision.
And it's a wink wonk, not mentioned in the book. I dig it.
Oh, wink wonk. I
Wink
like
wonk.
wink wonk.
Fantastic. All books that you should check out.
Definitely.
Indeed.
All day or day.
Speaking of,
Books.
sure.
Let's go with that.
Let's make that the cut. Take two. Let's make that the segue to the news. California's still on fire. Apparently, we need to rake some leaves. Moving on. In
Side
Pleasure, California.
we might also have a problem of acid rain. Olay,
Maybe.
olay.
Maybe.
Who knows? We have
Maybe you're going to be the one that saves me.
higher pollution levels than Beijing right now.
And
Anyway.
after all, you're my Wonderwall.
Good one. Anyway, let's talk about happy stuff. We already talked about the toy drive. We talked about the Black Friday sale. So I didn't actually watch this yet, but we did drop. We didn't drop.
You didn't watch
I
it?
did. I didn't get a chance to yet. Once
turned it on.
upon a Deadpool trailer, which is the PG-13 re-release of Deadpool that we're going to be getting. Limited run. Apparently, people are reacting positively, just because, of course, they're not just re-releasing it clean. They're adding to it, making it. They're playing with it. They're playing around, and they know they can't swear, so they're gonna do a lot of fun stuff with it. So I'm interested and I'm excited. I still haven't watched the trailer yet.
Why haven't you?
Thinking of a good reason. Don't have one. Nope, don't have one.
All right.
just didn't. Just
This is from another mister. I did put it upon the TV large here in our home.
Mm-hmm.
How do we feel about it? Because
It
there were
looks
some
great.
gigglies.
There's some giggles in there. I do love the new stuff. I finally watched the first Deadpool. I was late to that train, but I finally caught it. It's great. In theory, I like that a lot of the proceeds, I don't know if people have been talking about it, but a lot of the proceeds of the tickets are actually going to, I believe it's some charity. I don't recall which one specifically, but a lot of the proceeds of the tickets.
Probably the F Cancer one because
are going.
bigger
Yes, that's it.
That's
it's going
awesome.
to F
I didn't know
Cancer.
that.
So that's really, really cool. So I
Cool.
dig it for that instance.
Now I wanna do it.
But on the other hand, I don't know. It's kind of a weird, like, tiptoey thing to get into because a lot of production houses are already leaning into like the reboots thing. And if you can reboot a movie that you just did a few years ago, hot damn.
Yeah, what are we gonna be? Marvel rebooting Hulk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Or not even a
Eric
reboot.
Bana.
It's more a re-release just with, just edit a bit. That's probably cheaper
Yeah.
than doing a whole movie.
Which is true because we did get the Ultimate Edition of like Batman vs Superman, and everyone's like, "That's the movie they wanted to show you," and I'm like, "Well, I wish
then
you would."
why didn't they?
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But this one is there is a very specific reason they're re-releasing
Yeah.
it because I know way too many parents who took their kids to see Deadpool.
Yeah.
And also, I can tell you, as parents, primarily we are parents. Cats
50%.
count.
50.
Cats
Then
count.
never mind, 100%.
Oh, cats count. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'm one of those animals count.
You keep your cats away from swearing. Is that
She's particular.
learns everything it sees on TV.
She does. She's all about that life. We had the conversation that Deadpool's accessibility in comics is supposed to be for everyone. And so this gives the kids who have been enjoying the little tiny chibi Deadpool in Squirrel Girl an opportunity to experience him on a less
Vulgar level.
balls to the walls variation.
Yeah.
Oh, like
I mean, I now, especially knowing that it's got a good, like, that it's going to something that more so, because I was like, whatever, I'll wait till it comes out because I don't need to see it clean because I've seen it. But now that actually adds a little bit of a more
spin
push.
Yep.
Well, and also I think because when you get the opportunity to see it, there is a very large chunk of it right at the beginning, which has a certain savage in a bed. And we are seeing this through the lens of innocence of childhood.
Right.
And I think that is a great way for me to try to hand this segue to my next topic that I want to talk about because it makes me say it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not following the segue at all.
So apparently, because Fred Savage in the beginning of Princess Bride is in the room where his grandfather is telling him the story.
You guys followed that?
Yeah.
What?
That's well. So Deadpool basically reenacts that entire sequence with Fred Savage in the bed, and the room is accurate to Princess Bride,
Oh,
Yep.
and that's why it's Once Upon a Deadpool.
got it.
I'm not explaining the tiny hand scene yet, Lizard Wizard. I appreciate you too much.
When you're older.
One day.
I'm gonna drop that. No, I can just say that now. When you're older.
So
My kid can't talk, but
So the opening for that trailer is literally the opening bedroom scene with Fred Savage, but it's Deadpool now in Peter's position.
Yep.
And so we would just like to bring up the passing of the author of Princess Bride, William Goldman, who is fantastic.
old Bill Goldman, as he and I used to chat. No,
All day, day.
everyone obviously the main reason it hit most of us. I mean, the reason it hit me was because of Princess Bride. Princess Bride, I love everything.
Yeah.
I've always have. But the man's resume
Is
was
huge.
insane. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, All the President's Men, to name just a couple of big ones.
Big ones.
Big ones. So obviously, well respected, well known, but also just near and dear to our heart because marriage.
Yeah.
Marriage.
Marriage is what
brings us
here
Today. And love. Two of. Anyway.
What two of.
So yeah, so our thoughts and
Death
condolences.
does not stop true love. It only delays it for a little while.
Boom. That was a perfect, beautiful drop to the end of. I don't have a segue to the next one.
Anybody got a peanut?
Anybody got the peanut?
I don't know what you're coming in
Love,
after that.
true love, always prevails. Like when a fish lady and a fisherman have a baby and
That's
they create
true.
an Aquaman.
And then you get a final trailer for it. It
Exactly.
dropped in the last 48 hours.
yeah.
We got our final trailer for Aquaman. It's coming
Swish,
out
swish, fish, fish.
December 21st. Unfortunately, it's gotten to the point where sometimes it depends how I'm feeling about it. I stop watching the third trailer because it's usually like gives so much away.
Yeah.
I was watching it before when you were like, oh, did you guys watch this? I was like, oh, I'm watching it now, and it gives quite a bit away because
They
it's
keep
introducing like
hinting.
new characters that
Right.
are training him. You see more of his mom and dad. And you see Orm. You see his I guess the guy who's the king of Atlantis.
See Drago with his terrible red hair.
So
What are you doing?
Why are you dragging Drago?
Well, I mean, with red hair, he looks weird. This isn't a thing against redheads. I'm not one of those like soulless ginger. Like I love redheads. He just looks weird with a red head. I mean, he's blonde Russian. I will break him.
You could break you.
Yeah, I mean, oh no, he'd kill me. But yeah, so we got our final Aquaman trailer. I haven't watched it yet. I'm debating if I want to because I'm actually really interested in Aquaman. I feel like a lot of people have said that Wonder Woman is basically carrying DC at this point, which she is.
Yes.
And I really don't want her to have to start carrying Jason Momoa's dead corpse across her shoulders too. I would like to be able to have a little bit more sturdy foundation for the DC universe.
What's probably going to happen
she's not sturdy.
No, she's delightfully sturdy. But what's going to happen probably is that she's going to be carrying, imagine like a beached whale that Aquaman and Wonder Woman are trying to carry to water. She's carrying the entire beluga and he's got the tail. Yeah. That's what's going to happen.
And he's talking to other fish along the way, just chatting it up.
Yep. Guys, I need you to speed up and move
Drinking
just a little bit to the left. Throwing axes,
So we'll see.
throwing hatchets.
We'll see. I am hopeful. I'm hopeful, but I'm not
optimistic.
That's the word.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
I
you're
want them
Superman,
to
but
do
not
well.
Wonder Woman.
It hurts me that they're this whole thing.
I need a callback.
For how much I bag on them, I want them to do well. Like I was enjoying. I don't want Cavill to go away, but who knows if he's coming back?
Yeah.
Got that sweet Netflix money now.
Sweet Witcher cash.
Witcher
cash. Speaking of Witcher, has nothing to do with it. Actually, is there a witch? Is there a witch? There might be a witch.
There is.
There is.
Yes, there is.
She's
a witch.
adorable.
Yeah.
So
We shouldn't burn her.
was it last week? Did it come out
Yes.
last week?
Yeah, it
last
did.
week.
It did.
She-Ra.
Where none of you, except for me, I was like, happy premiere day, you gone.
I somehow I follow the entire creative team and missed the algorithms. The social media algorithms just decided you don't want to know this.
My favorite part was that they had a party and there was a swift wind pony.
Yes.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, so
Of
this
course,
was at Pixar campus, and
Nice.
they had a bunch of people dressed up, and one of the things they had was a little Sebastian-sized pony dressed up as Swiftwind, which is She-Ra's rainbow unicorn Pegasus.
Alicorn.
What is the full title? She-Ra, the Princess of Power, and the Princess. Okay,
So
okay.
it changed the name up before because it has more focus on her princess allies needing to come together with her.
Because
Awesome.
friendship is magical.
And of course, stupid man boys on the internet are upset.
But not
And are they not?
Not the young people in the chat.
No, they shouldn't be.
And someone shouted out that Noelle Stevenson.
I love Noelle
Yes.
Stevenson. I'm super stoked to check it out. I just haven't had any time because there's so many things. There's so much stuff.
True.
There's so
But
many
it's so
things.
brightly lit that the smallest of your clan will enjoy it.
It's true.
It's true.
She can bounce to that intro hardcore.
I know. I'll have to, I'll throw it up during Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
I'll have
Good call.
to check it
Good
out.
call.
So I'm seeing wonderfully positive, again, except for the stupid man boys. I'm seeing wonderfully positive reviews about everything about it. It sounds fun. It looks entertaining.
It is.
There's so many kinds of cool different body types of all the
Yes.
princesses as well. Even a character you don't think think it's a princess, but is a princess, and it's super awesome.
That
I'm just gonna
reveal.
say big meaty claws.
Yeah, the reveal is
I've seen lots of fan art already. That's the thing. The thing about these things is they debut, and I can't even see anything, but I'm like, wow, I know a lot about these characters just from the fan art. I know what they would look like if they went on like a casual dinner date. Like, I know what they do look like in formal wear.
The love is real. That's how
it.
deep
That's
this
canon.
show.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, like, I know what they look like if they're sweaty because Christopher Anka just draws everyone sweaty. That's just what he does.
They glisten.
Everyone glistens. Not a bad way. It's constantly humid.
We're all about that princess life now.
I'm really excited to check out Shura.
Seahawk.
Oh, Seahawk is great.
I was like, that's an interesting segue.
I just want to yell, Seahawk.
So this one I know absolutely nothing about, but I want us to start talking more about these types of things because, in my opinion, quick poll: how do you pronounce Manga? Manga. Okay, I've heard manga and manga.
It
And
depends on how you feel about your Oz.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I like my Oz. It is just as much in the realm of graphic novels as anything else. So we are getting
Not magma.
magma, liquid hot magma. So Fruits Basket is an anime that is being remade. So this end of the table and that end of the table.
Yes.
Go for it. Let me know what it is and why it's happening and what does it mean.
Stephanie.
I would love to go for it because it was one of those things that, like, baby nerd me was one of the first things I watched and knew it was like, oh, this is actually anime. It's not like, on Toonami. It's something I had to seek out. And Funimation revealed today that they are going to remake Fruits Basket completely. So it's going to cover the entire manga series and actually cover the whole story. Everything's going to be correct, and hopefully it's going to be good. I'm really excited.
Yeah, one thing that we were talking about beforehand when we were informing the Barry here about everything with Fruits Basket is that the first original series was done so early on when the manga was happening that a big character was revealed in the anime that was kind of ambiguous in the manga, but it turns out that character isn't a gentleman, it is a gentle lady.
Spoilers if you on that Fruit Basket train.
Spoilers if you're on that Fruit Basket train. But, there's all kinds of cool stuff happening.
I saw a clip from another anime where an anime character is actually explaining, and there's two arrows flying through the sky, and it's the way the anime and the manga, the way they're going. And at one point they have to diverge and twist back around, and one can sometimes get canceled and die, and one can pass it, supersede it, which we have with Game of Thrones.
Or the Hunter x Hunter dilemma.
And stuff, and where it has to either catch back up or it introduces characters that are not canon, or like Daryl in The Walking Dead. People love him, but he is not in the books. And it's just kind of that same. I'm trying to remember.
I like someone did a comment on the Funimation Facebook where they called it Fruit Basket's Brotherhood in reference to the redone Full Metal Alchemist. Because that was one that where they also overtook what was actually available, so they just made stuff up.
They just made their own story.
Weird at
It
the
was
end.
weird as heck.
Was it good?
Ruru brought up that
The
Claymore.
redo is
The
good.
redo is good.
The Claymore ending.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a reference I don't get.
We got you, Ruru. The dame's got you.
Oh, yeah.
All the way over in New Jersey.
All those
I think you said New
Naruto
Jersey.
fillers. Oh, true.
Yeah.
Oh.
But the wedding Naruto fillers, though, were so fun.
That was one of the things on that he said they'll sometimes spiral down and they'll do a bunch of filler episodes that have nothing to do with the story just so they can catch back up.
Yeah.
And they did the same
The
thing with Fairy
100
Tail,
plus
too.
episodes of filler in Naruto before they went to Shippuden. So
Or they just restart it like they did in Toonami with Dragon Ball Z, and every time the Ginyu Force arrived, it would just go back to them fighting the Red Ribbon Army. So frustrating as a 12-year-old. Be like, wow, Ginyu Force.
I feel that.
We can fix that now.
We can.
We have access.
Now I just
can
don't care
rebuild it.
anymore.
We have the
There's
technology.
just so much.
We can rebuild you.
I can watch DBZ abridged.
I can watch that. I can watch it subbed and dubbed and wubba lubba. Anyway, wasn't gonna go that route. But
You already wubba lubba did.
our last bit of news, I saved it for the end because it's angering and disappointing on many levels.
And encouraging in the same
Exactly. So if you are anywhere on the internet, you saw this week, or last week, of course, that Stan Lee had passed away. And then within several days, individuals trying to make it about themselves.
Arnie Hammer.
Oh, God, Armie Hammer. I like Armie Hammer. I don't know where that came from. It was
Turned into a dirty rolling around in the mud pig. I love pigs.
Bad Armie Hammer. But joining Armie Hammer down in the muck was none other than Bill Maher.
He was already dead to me.
Bill Maher, yeah. This, I will say, but I'm going to preface this with Bill Maher's comments 100% awful, inappropriate. If this was the first time you're like, whoa, maybe I shouldn't support Bill Maher. Like,
oh my gosh.
you missed out on a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
when I was a young, angry, militant atheist, I of course gravitated to Bill Maher, given his
hair.
his head, no, yeah, his forehead.
Five head.
Yeah, his irreverence, his not doing his lack of political correctness. He even had a show called Politically Incorrect. And once I realized that he was really just a jerk, I of course deviated from that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, he made comments in regards to Stan Lee's passing, basically. Saying how, our generation, after about 20 years ago, suddenly became adulting became something that we didn't want to do. So rather than moving on from comic books to actual books, we instead kept reading our comic books and basically stayed children. And he talked about
just continuously shaking my head.
Yeah, he mocked an individual who was upset that Stan Lee had passed away, and he also basically said that our country, because we still like comic books, it is the only place that Trump could get elected. So yeah, Bill Maher he's a jerk. He's always been a jerk. He's been a transphobic, homophobic, Islamophobic jerk.
We can't. That is why we were prefacing with jerk.
And just because on a lot of political issues we might agree, that does not
make him the
that doesn't mean he's not allowed to be or that doesn't mean he's allowed to just be a complete and total, I don't want to say all these words because they add the red E to the podcast app. I don't like what he said. Turkey. He is one big old turkey.
Yep.
And his comments were inappropriate, unnecessary, and really just drawing, making it about him, which he didn't need to do that at all. So
you don't have to love who I love to respect my opinion and tell me that I'm a child.
It was a much better way of saying all the ramblings that I just said. It was much more concise.
It was necessary.
Yeah.
Necessary ramblings, man.
Yeah, there we go. So
that's less news.
Yeah, that was more just...
Can we end it on a happier news? That one right there under the baskets of fruits.
Yes, but technically
we already mentioned that.
We mentioned it at the because it was during your Around the Horn.
Yes, it was.
Just because you did the music, that's enough to make it happy at the end. Our main topic for the evening, you might see the title, and it is Meet the Dame Patrol. And you might be wondering, who is the Dame Patrol? Who stalks I was going to think of a cool...
You were trying to say stalks the rooftops at night?
Dang, you're good. I was going to be like...
Protecting all,
who knows?
making sure that the gates are not guarded for all the nerds around the world.
Never fear, geeks in distress. Your Dame Patrol is here.
I was gonna do like the old radio show, like the Shadow Knows, but I couldn't.
That was actually really cool. We could use that.
Oh, thanks.
We need the sound.
I have okay voicing. Anyway, our main topic. First off, we are switching because I don't know if you know this. Sometimes we stream other stuff. We've streamed Dungeons and Dragons. No. You've probably watched Sunday Coffee with the Azorian one.
When the toast and the children run.
Yes, where he talks about the jams that he's putting on his toast and what movie he's watching that day. Then his dog gets in his face and he tells his kid it's wonderful.
Indiana is a beautiful puppy.
And we more recently, Manderson and his brother Danderson have taken the crossover of sports and comic books, bringing their two passions together. So basically, we've realized we're growing larger than just the Capeless Crusaders. So I was like, Amy.
What's up?
I wasn't like Amy. Amy actually came to me and she was like, Doctor, I have an idea.
Doctor, I want to give you the news.
I've got a good case. I
was thinking how far you could go.
I can't. I got nothing else.
Basically, I have an initiative.
Amy came to me and Amy said, Doc, I have friends. I want to do another show.
Not in low places.
Not in high places. I want to do another show. And I was like...
medium places, guys? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mid-range.
Yep, we're in the middle of the road.
And I was like, you know what? I'm down with this. Thus, the Dame... I don't want to give too much away because I want you guys to be able to say it. But that was the gist of it. You came to me and you were like, I got an idea. And I'm like, let's do it.
You pretty much did, actually.
That's true.
We Ragnaroked it up.
We Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Like to rock. Anyway.
Big monster.
So we start...
Let's rock today.
Anyway, so Amy leads the Dame Patrol, and basically We are now launching. We are confirming. We've talked about it. It is rumored. Things are happening.
Hinted
not
at,
rumored.
left Easter
It is
eggs.
no longer
We are
rumored.
Easter eggs.
The Dame Patrol is starting. It will be a new podcast on the whatever we decide to call our network because we're still voting on it. Capeless Crusaders.
We are affiliates.
The podcast network that we are creating, an
affiliated.
association, affiliation.
Yeah.
Abbreviation,
Yes. So
not consummation. You tried to go there.
no, I didn't want to. No,
No.
God, no. That's
No.
A junction.
prima nocta.
Conjunction
no.
junction?
What's
Exactly.
the function? So the Dame Patrol is going to be a new audio podcast, starting audio, going from there. And right off the bat, what is the Dame Patrol? Tell me who you are, what the things, the hoedown, the hootenanny, social medias, so on. Go.
So
That's
forth.
a lot of knife hand for you, dude.
Yeah,
You're
so
getting-
much.
This is. Do you want to go?
It's all audio right now.
I,
Just,
How violent.
yeah.
It's so very. This is what happens when you make like wrestling friends.
Yeah.
Oh,
what
it's
happens.
true.
Yeah, just knife edge chops and woo.
Yeah.
So we met you at the top of the show, but reintroduce yourselves and let us know a little bit about the Dame Patrol, starting with whoever wants to go first.
I like that the chat goes Dame Patrol, awesome people, and I'm like, yes,
True.
Let's get it.
It's true.
Get it. So, Min, would you like to start this royal off?
Yeah. Once again, I am Minnie, Earth 76 Estevez. It's the ongoing going on. Also Batman, depending on who you ask and what corners. But Amy came to me with this lovely idea for a podcast, assembling ladies, talking about not just comics, but comics are fantastic, but that leads into so many other facets of films, cartoons, like Disney in and of itself is one giant grandpapa. Theme parks, video games, all kinds of fun things that we want to get involved with.
The fingers are in all the pies.
The fingers are in
Yes.
all the things.
All things geekery.
All things geekery. And we want to talk about that and make sure that people know that just because you look a little different or you're a gal that wants to get into stuff, there's all kinds of fun ways that you can do that. There's no gate guarding here.
And yes, there will be a Miyazaki Maru because we are all on that choo-choo train.
Yes.
Oh, yep. I'm all about that La Puta.
That one's so good.
It's so good.
I'm all about that Sen train toot-toot.
Yeah, yeah.
But, Stephanie, after you, my darling.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Gross, and actually, Minnie came to me, and she was like, hey, Amy has this great idea. Do you want in? And I was like, what's the idea? And she's like, an all-lady podcast. And I was like, I want in on that. So I joined up with them, and we discussed it, ironed out the edges, and just we're trying to branch out and do a podcast that's very welcoming and also going to give you the what's what and talk about all sorts of fun geeky stuff in all sorts of different realms.
And you bring in something very particular that Amy and I are kind of into, but not really.
We are dabbling our toes
Yeah,
among
what
this
are
giant
you good
stream
for?
of
What are you good in? You like the...
besides the wrestling. Stop the arms.
No, it's not that. No, it's not that. It's,
So,
go for it.
oh,
There's a scene.
There's a scene.
so besides the wrestling,
Besides wrestling.
I'm really
It's a
big.
card game.
I am big in Magic the Gathering.
That's what I was going for. I realized you thought I was doing the Roman right. No, it's magic.
Do you smell what Barry's cooking?
Exactly. So I'm big in Magic the Gathering. Love the card game. Also love the Transformers and the robots.
You're more
So-
than meets the eye.
Exactly. More than meets the eye.
Roll out.
Exactly.
Ooh, Peter.
Just all sorts of things.
I hate that
So.
this is so far away because I'm trying to read the chat, but I
it's
just
Nazca all
Rue
the
says
way.
I love Nazca. I hadn't seen Nazca until like last year. It's right there. I'm
man.
an idiot. Yeah, I got Caitlin the Miyazaki like collector's edition. Yeah, and Nazca was one of the ones we'd never seen.
Nazca-
So good. It made I bought the
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 collection.
physical
Magic.
book. No, the manga.
Okay.
God, we
The
just
other one?
yes. No, I got the volume 1 of Nazca, and I'm all about it. I'm really enjoying that. It's actually the first manga that I've ever actually like started reading. Like I've read random ones. Like I've got because I have like volume 8 of Rurouni Kenshin. I don't know why I just found it in a box, and I was reading. I'm like, this is really cool, but I'm so incredibly lost. So this is the first time I've actually gone back and gotten volume 1 of a manga, and I'm really enjoying
We
it.
might need to do an anime where to start episode, you guys.
That sounds like a great idea.
we
like-
need
We can
that.
do a manga and then an anime where to start too. So, we can
So-
choices. And then me, I'm Amy, of course.
Damie.
I am I am so much damn it.
It doesn't have the E. It's
Nope,
not. It's a
it's a
dame.
Damn it.
Damn it. So I came up actually to Minnie because I had seen a big, huge gap in this, not just in the podcasting environment, but in our entire, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the
Community?
word. Not just community, we're talking about
Industry?
Industry. The only way to proceed forward and grow in the industry and in the community is to let us as women use our voice to advocate what we love and who we love and support one another. Yes, get that hammer. So I did bring it to David, but I first went out and sought the Minnie on the end because there is nobody else, and this includes Stephanie, that I would rather have a ladies podcast with than the two ladies at the end. Also, because they can handle my shenanigans.
That's true.
That is very true.
Yeah. Also, they get my song references and my really thinly veiled William Goldman references.
And we finish each other's sandwiches.
Oh, is it still ham and cheese?
It is. Sometimes it's roast beef, though.
Okay, if it's rare roast beast, I'm on that train.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And when Amy came to me with this wonderful idea, I basically looked at it as there's only so much that I can and should do when it comes to trying to lift up the voices of people besides myself in the industry. I can talk all I want about the creators and the writers and the artists that I like and who are not just straight white dudes drawing guns and packs. I like those.
Bang, bang,
I
bang.
like those too. Like
bang.
Rob Liefeld, I love you.
All about them feet.
But there's only
pics,
so
Ramon.
far that we could really go as a bunch of dudes. And even having Amy on the show, when Amy came to me, I was like, this would be something. This is a voice that needs to be heard, that needs to be echoed three ways. And this was just a fantastic idea. So I'm very happy to have been able to help in the small way of website and other things.
And camera.
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 And lights.
Gamora.
Gamura. So yeah, if we want to do social medias, we're gonna
Yes. Give me all the social medias.
Give me
Where's
one of
everything?
these.
All of
So
them.
currently, we will be housing our first episode upon the Capeless Crusaders website up yonder above my head. Hopefully, we will be tapping it up in there. I know
We gotta redesign the website.
we're gonna have a
Overhaul.
heck of a 2019, you guys. You got to stay.
We're gonna bring in the Property Brothers so we can redo the website. They're gonna knock out the walls, open up the sight lines,
Oh, man, we're going to have
open
so
concept
many
kitchen,
natural light.
so much natural light. It's gonna be wonderful.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And the ladies, of course, we have the Dame Patrol on Instagram. I don't believe we have a Twitter. We got a YouTube. And then the ladies are at Dame of the Galaxy and Dame Exos.
Yep.
And then you can still find me at iJane,
You robot.
you robot.
robot.
Because if we put it on another one, it's going to be not kid friendly.
May. Oh, sorry. I heard it's gonna be, and I heard May.
And
Yeah.
it's gonna be mine.
In like several months. So you kind of gave the premise. Give me you already kind of mentioned it. So
We are your three vigilant misses, giving you the news and cues and reviews of all things in the geek world.
yes, awesome.
Yeah.
That's so succinct.
It's so succinct in there. We're patrolling and making sure everyone knows that they are welcome in all of these geeky facets.
Which is really important because it's there. You mentioned the gatekeeping, the gate existing is it sucks, and it's really sometimes very
Foreboding.
and overwhelming to get into a passion that you might not be too familiar. You're finishing my sentences, and because I'm not.
We don't have sandwiches for this.
I'm really hungry.
missed the
a sandwich
party.
would probably help with,
Wait, do
with
we have
my
more sandwiches for
inability to
you guys
finish.
or no?
I don't think so. I think I ate the sandwich. I'm sorry.
We finished each other's sandwiches earlier.
So it can be really intimidating to walk into a comic book store, especially if you have the stereotypical comic book employee.
If you have
Or
comic
just
from the
patron,
Simpsons,
because I had that experience
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah.
We just have the dude who's just creeping around and judging your decisions.
I went, I was moving back into around the DFW area, which is Dallas, for those of you who aren't familiar with it.
Yeehaw.
I was trying to find
What's the FW?
DFW,
Fort
so
Worth.
Dallas, Fort Worth.
Oh,
Yeah.
I learn something new every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Dallas for winners.
Yeah.
Dallas
Unless you're the Cowboys, moving on.
Exactly.
touche.
Okay. Anyway. So I was trying to find, I had a wonderful comic book shop when I was in college, but moved back to that DFW area, so I was trying to find one. And I go to this one shop, and I'm looking for stuff, picking up the new Wonder Woman and other things. And this guy and his friends start following me around the store, and they're like, oh, are you picking up something for your boyfriend? And I'm like, no, this is for me. And then he's like, why do you like that one? I'm like, I just do. And basically followed me around the shop. So I was like, okay, I'm going to buy my stuff and just go. And there's a lot of people that have like kind of variants of that story where you just don't feel welcome or you have to prove yourself in that situation, but you shouldn't have to.
Well, and it's so, I always hate that shows do that same trope of a woman walks into a comic book store and everyone's aghast that how dare a woman read
Like
comics.
12 seasons of The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, that's the Big Bang Theory's thread. But it's so weird to me considering that so many of the biggest comic titles and graphic novel titles are written by women or drawn by women. And they're some of the biggest movers and shakers of this industry, which is why it keeps chugging along and keeps moving forward. And that's so bizarre that people think that it's weird that women and girls, especially young kiddos, aren't in this space. They are. They're everywhere.
It's almost
One
like...
could say it's 50% of the population.
51. It's almost like, because when I, back to Bill Maher. Like within the last 20 years, it suddenly did become okay for me to not have the typical story of my mom sold my comic book collection when I went away to college. Like it became cool for me and my friends to be able to engage in this nostalgia. And it's like, oh, you still have your action figures? That's so awesome. Like you should set them up in an office or something.
Like you.
Yeah. All my dozens of Spawn figures and my 6 identical bootleg.
Figures,
I love it.
She's a Spawn person. Dude.
I'm gonna send you pictures. Oh God, so good. But it like became cool, but it still was somehow taboo for girls could like fantasy stuff up until a certain point. Then you were supposed to stop.
Yeah.
Then you were supposed to move on.
And it's really sad though because we've always been here, and it's like Star Trek, for example. The person that set up the first Star Trek convention was a woman. The people that led the Star Trek, to save the original show, were a lot of women. And then it becomes something later on, like especially later down the line, they're like, oh no, it's you guys have never been here. It's like, no, we've always been here, and that's in comics and all these other industries. It's just maybe we weren't going to the same circles as you because we didn't feel welcomed in those.
How many amazing authors far back, 200 years had to write under male synonyms.
That's true.
And how many? And we're like, oh no, that was written by a dude.
Outsiders?
And it's
Yeah.
No, I don't. That makes you cry. Stay gold, Pony.
Let's not talk about Pony. No! Please. Yeah, I feel a lot of the environment, it was very He-Man Woman Haters Club. Up in many comic shops.
I had one of those signs in my fort that I built.
It was your fort when you were a young man.
And the only woman who was allowed in was my mom.
Oh, see, you're still a good kid. so we're running up against a lot of the time. It's not even. I've had the same experience that Steph has had in Northern California, in a couple of shops that are much smaller, and it's the expectation that I don't know what I'm talking about. And Stephanie and I have also worked in comic book stores where the men come in and they immediately look for a man, or they walk right out the door as soon as you ask them if you can help them. And then it's, well, I don't know. Do you know anything about Swamp Thing? And I'm like, if I don't have the information for you, I've got the man to back me up via Twitter.
And I'll just incessantly mock that person.
But it's giving us the voice and the space finally to go, hey, there are some really frickety frackin' awesome ladies that are in this space that need to not only be acknowledged, but to need to be recognized and lifted up to the heavens where they reside, not even upon their clouds, but they just climb down and beat the snot out of some fools.
I know.
Regardless of gender, okay?
I know a lot of people who, for whatever reason, they seem to think that there's a finite amount of space in pop culture. There's only so many fans allowed, and if girls
Can I have a half of one, please?
if girls start coming in and bringing their makeup and their Barbies, we're gonna lose all.
Barbie has a comic book.
I know. She has a wonderful YouTube channel too.
She does
very positive.
YouTube
Very
channel.
positive.
Barbie Life in the Dream House was fantastic.
All about that inclusive life.
It's I feel like so often I am so incredibly represented. Like people are like, oh, well, then they're gonna make all your characters gay and black, and I'm like, cool if they made like 4 new gay black characters. There'd still be so many straight white dudes. Like, if you really want straight white dudes, there's plenty of them. That's your jam. They're everywhere.
Spread that all over your white toast.
You could spread it all over. It's just somebody, hey, white toast isn't the worst, but I get your point.
Also, ruin this chat.
Exactly. Thanos cleared out a lot of space. It's true.
That snap was worth it. That snap was worth it to get more lady feet in the door.
I know so many people are just like jerks about it, and it's a never-ending raft that we can pull everyone onto, and it can be so much fun. Yeah. I don't. That's why I'm glad you guys are doing this, because it's
the opportunity for us to not just be ourselves, but to give voice to what we want to talk about. Mm-hmm. I mean, for crying out sakes, I'm not a big Transformers person, but she's more than meets the eye. And of course, we got a Spawn lady down at the end. Dude, like, let's be honest, before we even aired, you were all like, I'm like, is it the 2 best friends that anybody could have? Because
how do you feel about Beast Wars?
Oh, Beast Wars. So I was in the middle of watching
Beast Wars, yeah.
Yeah, she loves Beast Wars. I was in the middle of watching it, and then Netflix lost the rights to all the Transformers stuff. So I was watching G1 and all that, and then it was pulled by Hasbro.
I have all of the original figures.
It's true.
I went up into my parents' attic to help them get Halloween stuff down, and I found the box of all my toys that my mom had kept. And I remember on Christmas when I got was it Optimal Optimus?
Oh yes.
When he could turn into a truck and a plane and a gorilla and everything, and he had the 2 massive cannons when he like had fused the spark.
Yep.
And it's all shiny. I like, Mom. She's like, I didn't get rid of anything. I was like, anyway, back on task.
This is exactly my point.
Question about that for you later.
Look at that.
Ruru taped Beast Wars. Yeah, VHS. We're here on Cartoon Network. 3 o'clock every day.
Should I keep my cousin's baptism or Beast Wars? Beast Wars.
I mean, yeah, come on.
Exactly. No contest.
This is exactly the reason why it doesn't matter what gender. We're all fans at heart, and this gives not only a different perspective, but a chance for different people to engage. Like, I don't think you would have been like, Stephanie, stranger in this comic book store, I want to have a conversation about wrestling and Transformers with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that with anybody.
You wouldn't.
That's just, sometimes it's awkward to meet new people.
Yeah. And
now they can have fun conversations, like if Alexa Bliss and Slipstream fused together, who would they wrestle?
Oh my gosh, she's such a Slipstream. It's great. I love it.
Oh, wow.
So and this is why you want to meet each of our dames. You want to see, Minnie, what got you into some of them sweet pop culture?
Good segue.
Yes. Pop
I learned from her. It's so not as meaty as you expected.
No. There's potatoes, but very little vegetables.
Potatoes.
Meat
Dude,
potatoes.
we've got that place we got to go to for potatoes.
Yes.
I put it in the chat.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Min, hit that pop culture train.
I'm hitting it. Tap, tap. So that pop culture train, I'm in it. Got a ticket. I'm ready to ride.
We should play Ticket to Ride.
Yay! Game night.
Game night. But so I actually was we're going to do an episode on it, so I don't want to like get too in depth with it, but I was brought into nerddom by my parents, actually. My mom was super into Archie. My dad was super into Spider-Man. By their powers combined, I like DC. So somehow I came out. And I've just and I've been here the entire time. I outgrew my father. I surpassed him, if you would.
I still like your dad. He's fantastic.
Yeah, my dad's great.
He's so cool.
Yeah, he's super cool. But yeah, and my mom was kind of like a little nerd with the Archie stuff. My dad was a bigger nerd with like Spider-Man. He liked a lot of the classic Marvel stuff. And I grew up just around that, and I loved video games. And after a while, as soon as I could beat my dad at Donkey Kong Country, video games were instantly dumb. But I continued.
I had that with my brother. It's the same way. It's like, no, we're not doing this anymore.
Yep.
That's my brother too.
Yeah, and I just continued with it. One of my earliest memories was going to SatCon here. It's super old, but I would go to SatCon with my dad. He would hold my hand or carry me as a little kiddo, just walking down the aisles looking at all the cool toys.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so I grew up with it. I was in a little stew of nerdiness. And now here I am, a full souffle.
No sinkage.
Nope.
No sinkage.
I just rise.
No sinkage, all sauce.
Also, real quick, hello, Costa Rica. In the chat, we got some from Costa Rica. Oh, hey, that's even
Not
better.
Wengapo friend.
Yeah.
Wingapo.
Wow, I didn't see any of that coming.
She does that a lot. That's the greeting of all days, my
That is the
friend.
greeting of all
Cool.
days.
I think we're just canceling Name Patrol, and you guys are just gonna be full years on our show now.
See?
I'm kicking out of Steve's and Anderson.
It
Don't
happened.
tell them.
You might have just got cheeseburgered.
This is how I do it. I scalp the best people from podcasts as Amy.
Stephanie. Stephanie.
Save
quick,
us.
Save the bearded one.
Okay.
Before we become the Cape Crusaders.
All right. So back on the Dame Patrol train.
With them pop
so-
culture sweetness.
How I got started was my dad was into Star Trek and Star Wars, so I grew up watching that, especially like Next Generation, and then after that, he wasn't like any further than that. So I'd watch like Batman the animated series and Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, and I'd be like, "Who's that? Who is that?" And he knew a lot of these characters, but there was like more I wanted to know, and that was around the time the internet happened.
So you wanted
yes.
so much more than he had planned?
Exactly.
Yes.
And so I
There's
would
adventure
go
in the
on
Great Wide
Wikipedia
somewhere.
and like just read about all these people and read about like the background Jedis on Star Wars and just Marvel and DC. And when I finally got, I loved Margie. So when I had braces at one point in my life, but if you did so many, like, I forget, like, good checkup things, you could pick out a Barnes & Noble gift card.
Yeah.
And I used
Yeah.
that Barnes & Noble gift card to get a big volumes 1 and 2 combined Ultimate X-Men graphic novel.
Good choice.
Very
And-
nice.
And it was, so that's like one of my first like American comics that I bought, and I would buy like manga, and I just went deep dive, and once I had like my own disposable income, I started like just getting into like DC comics and like Marvel comics and just going all around and getting into it. It was really fun.
You swam in the pool and ne'er returned when you went to the ocean.
Yeah,
Fish, fish, fish.
exactly.
Yep.
So that the fingers. So with regards to me and pop culture, we've had this conversation on the Crusaders.
Dozens.
I lived in a household where the comics, they were nixed because apparently they were not good. Anyway, so I started off on the Archie train, and I made the joke earlier today about me. The first time that I experienced comics was the swiveling of a revolving rack, and I was. Yes. Apparently, I was alarmed and aroused, but I was more intrigued at that junction. It's okay. And they were really cool. Also, it was a base exchange. So if you're a military person, you know what's up. I had Archie. I loved Archie. And then I would sneak me some Batman the Animated Series, some X-Men the Animated Series, sneakity, because we did not have cable, some Toonami.
Ooh.
Get me all up in there. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Oh, thanks, Tom. Or I'd go to the youth center and I'd watch it, and then once I became of age, as in I ran away from home, i.e. I moved out, I started getting more into the things that I fell in love with, which I had liked Star Wars prior and I wanted to know more, and then I've always loved animation. You can have conversations for Disney up the yin yang. We can talk
heck
about
yeah.
old Hanna-Barbera. I can sing theme songs that do not exist anymore. I have actually still the CD that's Cartoon Network, all of the theme songs, so we can do this, and I can start singing the Underdog word for word theme song. So,
Underdog.
oh yes, when criminals in this world appear and face the law, break the laws that they should fear and frighten all who see or hear, the cry goes out with far and near for Underdog. Underdog. So, small things like that. In the chat, I wasn't actually given the opportunity to see Darkwing Duck until much later, as well as Tailspin, The Adventures of Gummy Bears,
Gummy Bears.
bouncing here and there and everywhere.
So
And
was it
that's
like
it. So we don't get.
We don't get any more.
copyright laws? So was that like a stringent, like British thing that they didn't like comics?
No, it was a very religious household. So
their love
Satan
was like
books.
the nectar of a fruit, which is forbidden.
forbidden.
Satan books.
Jace.
Yeah.
So
the Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
I'm
was
really lucky
everywhere.
I wasn't arrested for and framed for a murder like the West Memphis 3. Like,
But see, that's where we come into that my pop culture experience led to a culmination of collecting and not even oversaturating myself. I still have much to learn. I am still space in my spongy self to explore the great cornucopia of offerings that I have. I might get burned out from time to time, but I take naps and I hydrate. And when self-care is important, people, you remember self-care is important.
Yeah, honey.
Treat yourself.
Treats. So I'm just really excited that I've found people that are like to add to my family, especially my Pottern family. Not Harry Potter family, but my
Pottern family.
Hash browns are yummy. And it's really great that our previous projects and our experiences have led to this. Me being a Valkyrie, podcasting with Crack in the Vault.
Yeah.
I work in Empire's Comics Vault, and it gives the opportunity for me to go, Stephanie, do you want to talk about where you're coming from with your experiences and your other projects prior to me going, and for Minnie going, you come with us now.
Well, as far as like big projects, I haven't really done anything like in the realm of podcast. I used to work at a Collected Comics, which became Valhalla Comics. Nice. I used to work there, and there was a local professor that did like a very not in a bad way, very highbrow, like talking about like graphic novels and like all these things that came out, and he liked to have people that were in the shop come and be on there. So I used to do podcasting like as a guest spot on that. And so I have some podcasting experience, but I'm kind of the baby podcaster among the three of us.
The wee lass.
The wee lass, yes.
wee lass, as I... And the Minnie.
So,
talk to me.
well, I am currently on Crack in the Vault. I am one of the co-hosties there. Love my brothers over there. I'm still doing that. I also was on a radio play for Transformers, actually.
Shut the front door.
Yeah,
What are you doing? Tell me this.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was on Transformers Elite. It is kind of like a radio play motion comic. You can still find it on YouTube. We did not finish it, unfortunately. Life found a way. But I was Firestar in that. One of the lovely rescue firefighting Transformers. She was delightful. She was a truck. Because she was a fire truck, because, you know, got to put out them fires.
Toot.
Rest
like
in peace, California.
I started to get
half on fire.
Half on fire. Yeah.
only the good half.
I did that for a while, and then got into podcasting with Crack in the Vault, and I'm really excited to start doing stuff with Capeless. And with the dames, of course, we got to do our cool shticks.
We got a lot of shticking to do.
We got a lot of shticking to do, yeah.
Do we have any favorite? I know I'm trying to help foster our community of expedients towards the exit, Senior.
Oh, no, we're good. We're good on time.
Oh, we're good?
Yeah.
We're good on time?
Yeah.
Sweet.
You're a senior, or is he junior?
I don't... Does he want to be a senior, or senior? He's not a unstoppable.
No.
I have no idea what's happening.
He could be a naked Mort.
No idea what's happening.
But he's not bald enough.
He would be DNA me.
Touche.
Yeah, because DNA was also a doctor.
That's true.
Chat, what's happening?
So, catch up. This is how we work. A brain is in tandem. We made Kim Possible references.
Yep.
Senior, and senior, junior were bad guys in the Kim Possible universe.
And so was DNA me.
Yep.
Got it.
Chigo.
Didn't actually watch. I know, I'm aware of it. Didn't watch it.
Yeah.
It's so good, though.
It also...
I've heard it is held up.
Yeah.
It did.
It's good if you can ever find those DVDs that Disney never puts out for their old stuff.
Story of Our Lives. You take her home. You drive home light to whatever it is. I don't know. I'm not a... Nope. That one, I'm abandoning that ship.
Spyro Fist said, "What is going on?" And I'm just picturing Jim from The Office when he's just like, "What is going on?" It's basically...
It's okay. Do you want to talk about your favorite shows?
What do you... No, this isn't about me. This is about you guys. Y'all.
Us.
Oh,
y'all.
y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
No, not that. No.
Y'all is in the Texas y'all.
Yeah, y'all.
Is it the Austin or the Dallas?
I try to throw in some y'alls.
San Antonio.
It's a Texas thing.
It's a Texas proper thing?
Yeah.
I found access to Texas chili and, what is it, Lucens, the iced tea. I don't know.
Ruru actually made a good point. They're planning to get your subscription to Disney Plus. They're going to throw Kim Possible. That's actually that's where they're sitting
That's tempting as all hell, Ruru.
That's the way...
That and gargoyles, throw that up.
Don't even get me started on that.
Okay.
I'm sold.
All right. Well, actually, they finally finished that DVD set. So if you can, pick up your gargoyles while you can, because that took them forever to finish that.
It did the same thing with Rescue Rangers and Rescue Rangers and Darkwing Duck, which I brought into the house. I was on that train so hard that train too.
Well, what? So I know we've talked about your individual experiences, individual likes, not even dislikes, just likes, positive. We like stuff.
Yeah,
positive, yes.
But what do you each individually want to bring to the show? Like, I know you have different paths, different stories to...
I brought them.
That's true.
I wanted to bring.
That is,
I
there you
wanted to
go.
bring more community to give space for awesome women that have an amazing voice, that don't always have to like the same thing I like.
It's true.
Because I like it when we're like, I hate that. And I'm like, well, I like that. And you're going to have to deal with that. And you're like,
It's
okay.
true.
It's true. We have had that a couple of times.
We had a few discussions where we're like, I'm glad you like that, Amy. So you
go do that.
go
You do
that.
you, boo.
And
You
then-
do you.
Yeah.
But that's been the best part about this, is that we're like, for me, what I wanted to bring to this podcast is community. I wanted to showcase not just these awesome kick booty kiss ladies, but I want to bring in other people and show that our community, not just as women, but as a comic book community as a whole, is alive and thriving and isn't dying and is being led by some amazing women creatives. And we like foot to the glass ceiling, bro. Like it's done and gone.
Getting that glass elevator and smashing through it. Willy Wonka status.
Nice. Good
Yeah.
visual.
Good day, sir.
Good day.
Here,
Get
Toss.
nothing.
Yeah. You get nothing. You guys get something.
We do.
We get
Yay.
something.
Y'all get a podcast.
to listen to.
Exactly.
Because again, this isn't about taking in any voices away. This is about adding voices.
This is exposing the
just
voices that have been trapped in little ships.
spreading it out like the jam on the proverbial
You
toast.
still get your weekly Capeless. You still get your Estevez with his morning movie, coffee, and everything.
We'll get dumb. We'll
Was
get
it crossover?
yes, crossover. We're gonna talk about sports, which actually really fun. So, but how about you two? What individually? What did you want to bring to your show?
Well, for me, like I said, when I was younger, I just did the whole deep dive, and I have a great vast knowledge of many things. Like in Adventure Time, if anyone remembers that
Come
character,
on,
that's
grab your
like
friends.
I have a vague knowledge of a great many things. That's me. I love the outlet to be able to talk about that and learn more things and also share it with more people. So I just love the idea of being able to use that knowledge for good.
Yeah, I think that's really positive because. I think it's for how big it is. Like, I'm going to be honest, I don't know many people in my personal life who actually play Magic. And so to be able to just talk about that and expand that, like, that's awesome. Like, that's...
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Minnie, what do you got?
For me, like I mentioned earlier, the whole gatekeeping thing, I abhor that. It's something that I've, butted against since I was but a wee little lass. And now, I don't know if some of you recognize me, I also do security for some conventions around town. And I love creating spaces that are good for people just to explore their nerdiness. I want to make sure that everyone can do that. And I love exposing how diverse that these communities can be. Because it's not just one person or it's not one type of person that likes things. There's so many different people that like different kinds of things. And that's awesome. I hate the idea that just because I am a woman, I have to like Batgirl. Fun fact, I don't. She's okay.
I liked her as Oracle. We had this talk.
We did.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's
Interesting take.
Yeah. It's great. She's great, but not my fave. I'm more of a Manhunter kind of gal.
Yeah,
You
which
know?
you need to listen to our first episode when we start talking
Exactly.
about our favorite characters.
Yes.
We got them hard eyes for these characters.
We
and
do.
it is
But
stunning.
something that I didn't go into in the episode, and I kind of mentioned here, the whole gatekeeping thing. There's no such thing as gatekeeping. Anyone can do whatever they want and get into whatever they want if they're interested in it, if they've only seen the reboot, if they've only seen the movies. That's fine. It's totally cool. The only thing that I will say is kind of gatekeepy, if you discredit someone or discredit a character for their gender or their creed or their sexuality, you're kind of a D-wad and, you should not be in the community. That's the only thing that I will gatekeep against is if you're being a D-wad and taking enjoyment from others.
Yeah, if you if you like, it's
If you're here to spread hate, get out.
like if you want
Don't hate, appreciate.
if you want to
man.
sit in your house and be like, I hate that character, cool. When you try to take it into the community and spread the negativity, what's the point? Spreading a dissenting opinion, like you don't like you think Batgirl's fine, but you don't like her that much. That's not you're not like, oh, you're stupid for liking Batgirl.
Yeah,
you're just like, she's not my favorite. She could be someone else's favorite.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's such a simple, like that. Why is that hard to? I don't get why that's hard to understand for people at all. Like I don't understand it, but
It's people
way
make
people-
that choice.
you do you, lizard wizard. You do you, boo.
Exactly. And it's what I think really we want to bring community and remind community that what we bring to our community is each unique perspective, and it grows and it helps our community thrive. And everybody is worthy. Everybody is worthy. I'm just gonna
Everyone is worthy.
I'm gonna put that as the all-inclusive. Everyone is worthy. And at this rate, like also in the first episode, Stephanie talks about extensively. Her research power is straight Oracle. Like it makes me proud, and I love me some Oracle. Like I just can't get enough. Oh baby, just can't get enough. You know,
Are you the encyclopedia?
I am. I have a vast knowledge of a great many things, and it's one of those things I'm really excited to share with people. Is like, oh, this isn't just like back of my brain useless. I get to actually like use it for good and share it, and enjoy it with other people, which I think is the best part of fandom, is just like the community and enjoying it and meeting other people through
That's
it.
awesome. Mm-hmm. So before we wrap, I need to know where we're going to find the show, when we're going to find the show, all those things.
we were going to find the show.
I know, but do it again.
That's
Okay.
true.
I'm gonna boomerang it. Okay. Yeah. Well, first episode, it is done. It is in the bag. It is going to be on the Capeless Crusaders website, I believe, because we are currently overhauling our site, so that'll be coming soon. When is that episode dropping, Sir of the Berry? You know that. When all that info dropping.
When would you like it to go?
Whenever you guys are ready.
Cool.
So if we want to drop it on Thanksgiving, we could drop it on Thanksgiving. We drop it Wednesday. We drop it Friday.
Yeah.
Planning meeting.
Yeah,
We gotta
we'll drop
choose.
it. We'll drop it soon.
We'll drop it like it's hot because it is.
And then pick it up like it's cool because we are.
Yeah, we will. The episode done. We will. I just have to upload it. It's gonna go. So basically, if you subscribe to us on any podcast platform, you're now gonna notice, that we have our normal episodes 1, episodes 2, episodes 3, and now you're gonna see different titles on there. You see crossover episodes 1 and 2. You're gonna see Sunday Coffee with Taz 1, and now you're gonna see Dame Patrol episode 1, episode 2. So you're gonna be able to differentiate it that way in the podcast feed, and that will be going up this week. We're also gonna throw it up. We throw up everything, video or audio. It still goes up on YouTube. It goes up on basically almost any podcast platform that you use to subscribe to, except for Spotify, because they're very strict on their rules about all kinds of weird stuff. Like
if we can figure out that choo-choo train, we'll get on it.
Yeah.
So everything's going to be available this week. It's all going to drop. We're also going to have a new crossover this week. Like everything's going to be just boom, boom, boom.
We're hitting you with that 1-2 punch of sweetness, but now we're adding some extra flavor.
Yeah, exactly. So we are adding more to our network to amp up and boost out the positive messages. We're also going to get.
We're sending out the radio waves.
Yo.
We're going to be getting some articles from y'all as well.
Yeah. At some point. Yeah, definitely.
Whenever. Yeah.
He's article hungry. So.
I would love to write articles.
We have a website ready to go.
Perfect. Let me just
There's a
get
home
my...
for it.
Yeah, right now. There it is.
Just let me pull out my typewriter.
Just gets it going right now. So yeah,
That's really good.
I know I'm pretty talented. So check out the Dame Patrol. Like I said, they're going to be popping up in your normal
there, and
podcast feed.
everywhere.
Here, there, everywhere, as the great Paul McCartney once said. We're also, like I said, going to be overhauling the website, so we will have a section dedicated to the Dame Patrol, so you can check out all of their content. And if you're looking for anything related to the Capeless Crusaders, our entire podcast network, you can go to thecapelesscrusaders.com. That is our home away from home on the internet. I don't even know anymore.
It's over my head.
Thecapelesscrusaders.com has all of our previous episodes, our D&D, everything, so on and so forth. It is all living there. It also has our sponsors like Beer Bomb Brush.
Beer Bomb Brush.
There it is.
Over here.
They make what's the word I'm looking for?
The Koopa Show.
Yes, thank you. They take beeswax, they mix it with beard oil, they do beard balm, and they make it into a Koopa shell-like shape that you can use to moisturize and comb out and make your beard beautiful and wonderful. And if you go to Beard Balm Brush and use the code Capeless, you can get 15% off your purchase just in time for the holidays. You can also come down to Empire's Comics Vault. It is our home away from home, pugs, comic books, hot sauce, community, wonderful Black Friday sales, toy drives. You can get percentage off your purchase if you come down, bring some toys. Yes, Amelia?
I just remembered, and we'll probably talk about it next, like in the next couple weeks, but for free movie night on December 21st, it is going to be
You're doing it.
Die Hard. Also,
Yes.
and I have it's still on my list, bro. Like, I have not done the thing of sings with the thing.
Now I have a machine gun.
Ho.
It is a wonderful Alan Rickman performance and just a great movie.
Oh, God.
Also, I love Alan Rickman. Can we have that? We'll have that.
Does
chocolate. We gotta get on that boat too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, Lizard Wizard. There's
Is there a Grindelwald
not.
pop? No, okay.
Shoot the glass. I got heels for days, bro.
Anyway,
Being ahead of this.
was that was Empires? Oh, and Critical Dice. Hey, Critical Dice, they sponsor our D&D campaigns. You can go down there, again, get 50% off your purchase using the code Capeless, all lowercase. Get yourself some dice, get a book, get all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I will say I treated myself to some dice using that code, and I got some lovely pink dice that are true roll dice, so they're supposed to be balanced. And then I also got some purple glow-in-the-dark dice for those extra special spells, and they're
Adventures.
great.
Planet of
And
Blacklight.
we have Crusading and Dungeons, or Dungeons and Crusaders.
Crusading dragons and
Crusading dragons.
things.
And dungeoning
Yep.
dungeons.
The hoedown, the hootenanny.
And the holler, hey, hey, hey.
So, thank you for hanging out on this week's episode. Thank you to the chat. If you're on YouTube after the fact, hello from the past. Thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting, doing all those things. If you're listening to audio, hello. Don't take your eyes off the road. Don't look at me. Just don't look at the back seat. Don't look at the back seat. Anyway, I hope I didn't just cause an accident of some kind.
I just got really alarmed about anybody that has to check their back seat now because you told them that.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's just a bag.
If there's just a balloon, it's okay. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
it's just a red balloon, not attached to a clown.
Guys, I haven't done that. That's her. That's Minnie. That's Minnie's area of expertise as well. This
We all float down here.
So, for the Capeless Crusaders and the Dame Patrol, my name is David Barry at drbarry on varying social media platforms. How about we start all the way down at the left?
Oui.
Wingapo friends, I'm Minnie, and you can find me at Dame Egg Sauce on the Instagrams.
And I am Stephanie, and you can find me at Dame of the Galaxy on InstaSwam as well.
And all the way over here, I'm as proud as Peach Punch, and I can't drink that stuff, but you know it tastes good. This is Amy. You can find me at iJaneURobot on varying social media. And apologies, Lizard Wizard, there is not a Grindelwald pop in here, and Hash Brown's Chupacabra Lives Matter. Got you.
Hash brown.
Hash Brown.
So, for Manderson at Son of Mander on his social medias, at the Azorian one, Anthony Steves, and
He's at
Tall
the
Dark,
PT.
not ugly on everything.
on everything.
Yeah, Steves is at a PTA
He's at a
meeting.
PTA meeting.
Thank you for hanging out. We are the Capeless Crusaders and the Dame
Dame
Patrol.
Patrol.
Hot Dame!
Excelsior, friends, and good
night.
night.